So hey guys, this is KMCers. I'm Kirsten and welcome back to another true crime video. So today we're going to be talking about a girl named Vanessa Guillen. Vanessa Guillen was born on September 30th of 1999. She was 20 years old. This happened at Fort Hood near Guillen, Texas. Her parents are Julio and Gloria. She does have 5 siblings: Myra, Giovanna, Lupe, Manuel, and Roger. She was described as very athletic, as she loved to lift weights, go for jogs, play soccer. In high school, she played soccer and was on the track and cross-country teams. She just really enjoyed sports and learning. And her parents knew from a very young age that she was probably going to be joining the military, as she was very much into it as a child. And so it's no surprise that she is also a U.S. Army soldier. So let's just jump right into the incident that had happened. So like I said, after she graduated high school, she joined the Army right away. She trained in the 91F. She was a small arms and artillery repairer, and she was stationed at Fort Hood in Texas. On April 22nd of 2020, she was reported missing. She was last seen at 1 p.m. in the parking lot at her unit, the Regiment Engineer Squadron headquarters of the 3rd Cavalry Regiment. That is a tongue twister. Let's just jump right into the investigation, and it is quite a long investigation. So starting with her keys, her bar rack room key, her ID card, and her wallet were all found in the armory room where she had worked earlier that day. Her family believed that it's very bizarre and weird that she left those items behind, and she wouldn't do it voluntarily. And because this was under the U.S. military base, this was under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command, also known as the CID. And other departments kind of helped them out, but primarily they were the investigation team in this case. They sent out a bunch of different units to look for her within the 2 weeks of her disappearing. Before she went missing, she told her family that she was sexually harassed by an unnamed superior, and that other complaints were made and that they were all dismissed. Her mom suggested that she report it, and she said that she would handle it herself. She didn't end up reporting it due to feeling like she'd get retaliation due to the fact that her mom was an illegal immigrant. Myra told the police that Vanessa texted her boyfriend earlier that morning saying that she was going to work. Investigators did look into Vanessa's cell phone, and they found that she had last texted a man named Aaron Robinson. Now, on April 28th, the CID interviewed Aaron Robinson for the first time. He was a specialist ranked enlisted soldier who was the last person to see Vanessa the day she disappeared. She came in to talk to him about some serial numbers on some weapons. He said that he gave her the serial numbers and gave her all the paperwork, and that he believed that she was going to the motor pool room after they had just talked. On May 18th, 2 witnesses came forward and said that they saw Robinson struggling with a big, heavy box. They believed it was quite heavy in weight. On the May 19th, Aaron gave permission for the police to look into his cell phone. In early June, Vanessa's mother, Gloria, told reporters that she did not trust that the Army was handling this case very well, as they were kind of kept in the dark. Shortly after that was reported, on June 13th of 2020, hundreds of people protested outside the gates of Fort Hood, demanding answers because there was some lack of information being told in this case. The CID reported that they found no evidence of Vanessa being sexually harassed, but they did believe that foul play was involved in her disappearance. On June 17th, an added $25,000 was added to the already $25,000 reward for any information. 19th, Cecily Ann Argler, who was an estranged wife to a soldier that was at the base of Fort Hood and was the current girlfriend of Aaron Robinson, but was interviewed for the first time. During this interview, she claimed that she knew nothing about what was going on or what happened or anything. On June 20th, Texas Rangers, detectives, and cadaver dogs were all sent to search an area near the Leon River because they had found a burnt mound pile. Due to kind of cell phone records of Aaron, June 23rd, Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia met with officials to discuss the ongoing investigation. The authorities told her that they had conducted more than 300 interviews and spent more than 10,000 hours investigating, and that they had expanded their search to cover on base and off of base as well. On June 27th, Gloria, Vanessa's mother, was detained for illegal immigration, but was granted parole by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and had assistance from Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia. June 30th of 2020, around 1 p.m., contractors working on a fence near the Leon River found partial remains in a shallow grave. Were later confirmed to be Vanessa, and around 8:30 that evening, authorities re-interviewed Cecily, and during this interview, she ended up telling them that on late April 22nd or early April 23rd, Aaron came and picked her up at the gas station that she had worked at. He ended up telling her that he killed a female soldier at Fort Hood, and that he struck her in the head repeatedly with a hammer, and that he ended up killing her and hiding her body in a large box. They ended up taking the remains, or her body, and tried to dismember her and burn her and bury her near the Leon River. Because of her kind of confession on this whole thing, police tried to set up a phone call between Cecily and Aaron to try to get him to basically kind of confess as well. She ended up sending him articles that they had found the remains, and he ended up not denying anything. He didn't say he did it, but he didn't say he didn't do it, anything like that. On the evening of June 30th, Aaron did end up escaping custody by an unarmed guard in his unit. He was being held for violating the COVID-19 quarantine rules, and he fled as soon as he learned that they had found the remains. On July 1st, Guillen police made contact with Aaron, who pulled out a handgun and killed himself because he wanted to avoid being in custody. Due to this, Cecily was arrested by Texas Rangers, and she was charged with 1 count of accessory to murder after the fact and 3 counts of false statements. Let's talk about the trial now. So the trial was set to begin on January 23rd of 2023, but on November 29th of 2022, Cecily pled guilty to the 1 count of accessory to murder after the fact and the 3 counts of false statements. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison, and she later did reveal why Aaron killed Vanessa, and she stated that Aaron was scared that he would get in trouble because Vanessa saw his lock screen, and it was a photo of Cecily, who is technically still married to a soldier on base during this time. So he was afraid that he would get in trouble for the Army's fraternization rules due to the fact that she was still legally married. Let's talk about the aftermath, because a lot of things did happen after this all happened. So on July 1st, more remains were found in shallow graves. A number of other soldiers had been reported missing, disappeared, whatever, at Fort Hood. So during their search for Vanessa, they did find more remains, and they did confirm them to be private I'm gonna butcher his name, but Morta. He was a 26-year-old from Pensacola, Florida. He was pronounced dead shortly after they found his body near Stillhouse Hollow Lake on July 17th. His death was ruled an accidental drowning, but Private Gregory Wendell Morals was 23. He was reported missing on August 20th of 2019. He was discovered in a field at the end of Guillen cul-de-sac on June 19th. His death was ruled as foul play, and they are still investigating his case. Vanessa was promoted from private first class to specialist on July 1st of 2020 after her death. On July 6th of 2020 at City Hall in Richmond, California, they did a memorial of candles spelling Vanessa and to honor hundreds of women that have been mistreated in the military or sexually harassed or sexually assaulted. 10th of 2020, Ryan McCarthy, the Secretary of the Army, ordered an investigation into Fort Hood's command culture. Vanessa was laid to rest on August 15th of 2020. Also, other murals put around towns and other places in her honor. She also had a lot of songs made about her and art made about her, and she was very much a big inspiration for a lot of people. On December 8th of 2020, the reports of the investigation was starting to come out. The investigation found major flaws at Fort Hood and the command culture that was permissive of sexual harassment and sexual assault. On April 30th of 2021, Army's report that the Army investigators had a series of missteps that allowed Aaron to escape custody that ultimately led to him fatally shooting himself. The report also found that Vanessa was sexually harassed by a superior, but it wasn't Aaron. They found different claims against Aaron. On April 19th of 2021, Lieutenant General Robert White revealed that one out of the 27 gates into Fort Hood would be renamed in Guillen's honor. On June 1st of 2021, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed the Vanessa Guillen Act, sets up procedures so that military service members can report sexual harassment and assaults by other members outside of the chain of command in order to protect them from getting retaliated. Late December of 2021, President Joe Biden signed the National Defense Authorization Act that basically made changes to the military justice in order to have sexual harassment investigations and decisions to prosecute be made outside of the military. In addition to that, it protects service members against retaliation for people that make the complaint and also the people that get the complaint on them. January 26th of 2022, President Joe Biden also signed an executive order to establish sexual harassment as a specific offense in the UCMJ. In 2022, Park Place Post Office, which was her home neighborhood area, renamed their post office after Guillen. In August of 2022, Vanessa's family filed a civil lawsuit against the U.S. Army seeking $35 million in damages of sexual harassment, assault, and the wrongful death. On December 8th of 2022, the Pentagon held a press briefing stating that 14 senior officers from corps to squad level at Fort Hood were disciplined for their leadership failures. Whether that was some of them got fired. I'm gonna leave you here with some photos of Vanessa's beautiful life. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what case I should do next, and subscribe if you haven't already. Join our family, we would love to have you. We are on our way to 150 subscribers by the end of the year. This is KMCers, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.